Hello, Charlene. How are you?
Yeah, hey, look me, I'm doing very great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. I'm very happy that you agreed to do this with me today. Today, we'll be talking about a little bit your journey into finance, working in finance, as well as about you doing the enrolling into the CFA program and getting your CFA designation. So let's start off by you telling us a little bit about yourself, how you ended up where you are today. Tell us a little bit about your career journey.
Okay, great. Actually, my name is Charlene. So actually, at the very beginning, during my university and master's degree, I didn't study finance at all. Actually, I have a bachelor's degree in Chinese literature and a master's degree in journalism. So finance was actually nowhere on my radar before I did the CFA charter holder. That's 3 levels across 3 years. And actually, I started my career as a banking journalist. So that is the first, the overlap between finance and my study journalism. So I started my career as a banking journalist, and then I was a banking journalist for quite a few years, 8 years before I joined JPMorgan. Back then I was studying in Hong Kong, working in Hong Kong, and was during COVID. I joined JPMorgan Asset Management, and then after 1.5 years, less than 2 years, due to some personal reasons, I moved to Zurich here currently, very beautiful Zurich, Switzerland. So, and then I joined a wealth technology firm. So I would say over the past 10 years, I was in the private banking industry, private banking journalist, JPMorgan Asset Management, serving private banking clients, and then joined the wealth technology firm. And our clients back then was still also were private banks. So after 10 years, I quit my job later last year to start my own company, my own business as an investment coach, as an investment educator. So just like drawing on my own journey, I started from basically zero. As I just introduced myself, I had no finance degree, no investment, so purely self-study. I understood how challenging it can be for a person who doesn't really have a finance or investment background or education. This would be really, really hard to get started. But as you know, investment is just part of our life journey as well. So my own mission currently is also to empower everyday people, everyday ordinary people, to be more financially literate. So everyone talking about financial freedom, but at the end of the day, financial freedom starts with financial literacy. That is also the reason why I set up my own YouTube channel as well later last year. So I've published 50. I think today is going to be the 50th video on my YouTube channel.
Nice.
So yeah, it's pretty much my journey.
Nice. And I have a question for you. Like, what does a banking journalist do? Like, what did you do when you were doing that job?
Okay, I think I like this question. That actually, if you see over the past 10 years, 7 years in, I would say, as a journalist. So a lot of people were asking me, what do you do? Because you may know asset management, wealth management, but what actually a finance journalist does. So what I did, as a journalist reporter, if you have the, opportunity, for example, talk to someone from Bloomberg or from Reuters or from CNBC. So there are a few areas. So first of all, we interview people like this. It can be a face-to-face interview, can be an online interview, it can be very formal, can be very casual, and then we write stories up. So we call it stories. So that's the first, we write about, we interview people a lot. And then secondly, as a journalist back then, we hosted a lot of events. So we cover, private banking industry is such a niche industry, I would say. So we hosted a lot of events, panels. So as a journalist, we moderate panels, we join those events, and then we cover the events, we report on the events. So yeah, so pretty much it was really, really fun. You have the chance to meet all those kind of high level people, very senior people in banking, CEO, CIO, Chief Investment Officer. So yeah, it's really fun. Actually, I missed those times actually.
Yeah, it sounds very fun. Like, I mean, it's you're meeting new people, you're interviewing them, and you sort of do that now, I guess, with your YouTube channel. I mean, you're probably interviewing like people in the financial sector, so it's like it's
exactly
a job.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of my podcast guests on my YouTube channel, they are my previous, I would say, industry friends. And then, oh, Charlene, you have your own channel. Yeah, I'm happy to speak on your channel as well. So I just did a podcast with a previous JPMorgan colleague, my ex-colleague, and she's currently also based in Zurich, Switzerland. So we just met and said, oh yeah, let's do one. So it's really fun.
Nice. And you spoke about you not having a finance background and then doing the CFA program. What made you decide to switch? And when did you start your journey with the CFA program?
I started actually after my graduation from my master's degree. And as I mentioned, I had a master's degree in journalism. So back then I was in Hong Kong. I don't know if you could understand. I feel like Hong Kong is like a city. Almost every job has something to do with finance. If you don't know about finance, I think it's pretty hard for a person, for a professional to survive in Hong Kong. So back then, I really wanted to enter in banking and finance. I really love the city of Hong Kong. And I said, oh, okay, if I really want to survive or even thrive at the end of the day, I need to do something related to finance. So it's one reason, more like a surviving, from a surviving perspective. And second one is that I really like it. I would say I do have a passion for it, to see, for example, investment portfolio growth, step by step. So it's something that, I like it. Since I was young, I also like mathematics. Not every girl, for example, in China, will like it. So it's fun. So, and then you may ask me, why CFA? And then back then, without a proper education, without a proper background, it's really hard to enter the banking industry. So I thought, okay, CFA is it's like designation that is well received across the industry, no matter what you do. And then you do not need to have a degree, finance degree, in order to pursue CFA. Everyone can do as long as you graduated, right? So then I just did it.
Yeah. And that's definitely not an easy journey, the one that you have pursued. Like, for someone who doesn't have a finance background and then suddenly wants to jump into finance, and the first thing they do is start with the CFA. It must have been really tough, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So, for example, if you ask me about what is the challenge, what is the biggest struggle, so I would say yes, compared with my peers who do have a finance background or economics background, things are definitely a lot, much easier for them than for me. I can give you one example. 10 years ago. So before I did CFA, I have no idea what is the difference between a bond and an equity, or between a bond and a stock. So, what's fixed income, equity? I have zero idea about it. So, and I also know some people, they register or sign up for a training school, like for example, Kaplan, right? I think you may also have heard the name. So I didn't have much budget, so I also didn't sign up for a training school. I think it costs like 1,000 per level. Yeah, so it was really hard, I have to admit that. And back then, I believe most of us also have, including me myself, we also had a full-time job. So I was a journalist back then. So the job already consumed you a lot of energy during the day, and then after work, you need at least like 2 to 3 hours per day for 3, 4, 5 months. I think for me, it was like 5 months. So I think for another person who has a finance or related degree, probably 3 to 4 months, I guess, right?
No, it was it's never through. Even if you have a finance background, it doesn't mean that you can do this in 2 to 3, 4 months. It's some of the topics are still relatively new. You still have to work hard, and everyone is pretty much on the same level, regardless of the background that you have. No, trust me.
Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more, since I also talked to some, since I joined JPMorgan Asset Management, I also have some, industry friends or colleagues who did that, who was very successful portfolio manager who managed billions in asset management. So, I mean, even for them who are also CFA charter holder, they told me, yes, I have a PhD in something, but it still took me a lot of time. That's exactly what they told me.
And while you were studying for the CFA, what is the thing that you enjoyed the most?
I would say it's like really you keep challenging yourself. So what I really don't like is the boredom and repetition. I think if something, it really, it's true to, for my study, for work, for my life, everything. I think if I need to keep repeating certain things, I get bored. So I think if you ask me what I enjoyed the most, is really, it was something really new to me back then, and I know that I really like it, and just like keep challenging myself and say, I didn't know the difference even between stock and bond, but I still want to do it. So I think that is the thing that I enjoy the most. Like challenges, new challenges, keep challenging yourself.
I would say that the CFA program, it is a very challenging program, but it's also very stimulating because it really puts your brain to work, and you have to work really hard. But
I learned a lot. Exactly. And also, I would say it's also very rewarding, right? In terms of what you enjoy. I think that, when I remember level 1 exam, when you were waiting for the email to come to your mailbox, and you keep you keep clicking your inbox. Where is the email? And then that moment is right. I couldn't. I will still remember that. I want to share also something like for my level 2 exam. I was actually having holiday, and after the exam, I was having holiday in Thailand by myself, and I was sick. I was sick on the way back to Hong Kong. But the moment actually I received the email that, congratulations, Charlene, you passed the exam. Back then I was sick, and then I took the flight from Phuket, Thailand to Hong Kong, back to Hong Kong. But after I arrived, my sickness just disappeared, this kind of, because I was so happy. I passed the exam level 2. I could still remember it. So what I want to say is that, keep challenging yourself. That's just really exciting. Also, the whole journey is really rewarding. That really makes me, at the end of the day, enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you on that. I do feel like it's a very rewarding and fulfilling experience once you're able to pass all the exams and you have those 3 letters next to your name. It shows that the working hard really pays off. Yes.
Yeah, it does.
And I do want to ask you about this question is, how has the CFA changed your life? Like, do you feel like it has made your career much better? Do you feel like it has been helping you with your own business right now?
I think there are a few aspects that you can see. The first of all, I think it's really about the respect. I think across the industry, people, whenever you see someone who is also a CFA charter holder, you feel you bond really well with that person. I think especially outside of the banking industry, back then, like I mentioned, I was a journalist, so there are not so many, for example, communication people or journalists or marketing people who do CFA, right? It's more like, okay, I'm a portfolio manager, I'm an investment analyst or investment strategist. So first of all, I think I did earn, a certain level of respect in the industry. People take you more seriously, for sure. And some people may ask me, Charlene, did you get the job at JPMorgan because you had a CFA charter holder? I wouldn't say yes, or I wouldn't say no. So it did, earn me more, or credibility, but at the end of the day, it's a mix of everything, right? You need to be qualified for a certain role, and then on top of it, it's always nice to have CFA charter holder. So, and also another story I wanted to share with you is that when I was back in Hong Kong before I moved here to Zurich, Switzerland, I was renting a flat in Hong Kong, and then my landlord, we connected. We end up, my landlord and I, we connected on LinkedIn, and then he found out that I am also a CFA charter holder, and he's also a CFA charter holder, and then he reduced the rent by 500 Hong Kong dollars per month because of this. And then I thought, we really, you bond really well with people who also have, share the same experience, because they probably know how hard it is, and how life you probably had during that period. So you bond really well with these people. So it's a fun story, but I still, it's quite funny.
You bond really well because you went through the same pain, and then you connect really well because
exactly.
you know how hard it was. Yeah, definitely. You have something in common now that you share. And as we're approaching the end of this interview, I do want to ask you my last question, which is a piece of advice that you want to give to the future candidates out there.
Okay, I think it's really, if you ask me just one piece, I would say definitely your hard work is more important than your smartness. A lot of people think, I'm not smart enough, I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not good at mathematics. You see my background.
Right.
And then you will know that everything is possible as long as you really have the willingness to pursue it. Hard work is really more important than your smartness in terms of pursuing CFA charter.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Charlene. That concludes our interview. But before I let you go, I do have three rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Actually, I have 5, not 3. So
okay.
So the first question is, are you a coffee person or a tea person?
I'm a coffee person.
Second question, best personal finance book?
Actually, the first one that I read is Rich Dad Poor Dad. That one is, everyone knows the name probably. It's really the first one. I'm not necessarily saying it's the best one, but I think if you're really new to the finance, it's the one that you start with.
Yeah, I also have read that book. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Third question, funny hobby outside of work? Fun hobby.
I'm a fitness person. My company's name is called FinFit. So it's really a combination of fitness and finance. So I really believe it's just like you cannot get 6 packs abs in 1 week or 2 weeks. You cannot get rich overnight as well. So it's really the philosophy that I personally believe in. And then I'm going to launch my investment course in Q3. So that is also the philosophy I wanted to tell everyone, like be responsible investor and be realistic as well. Learn it in a responsible way.
Love it. Favorite dish?
Oh, I love spicy food. So I'm Chinese. I love Sichuan spicy food, so I cannot live without spice.
Okay, and last question, what was your most used emoji?
Emoji. Oh, I like the one with the one you keep smiling, laughing with the teeth like this. I don't know if I could mimic it well, but I don't know if you know which one.
I know which one it is. I know which one.
Okay, put it on here maybe.
Yes. I'll probably.
That's my favorite.
I'll do that. Yes, I know.
Always be happy.
All right. Well, that was it. That wasn't so bad. I know before the call you were wondering what will these 5 rapid fire questions be, but it was easy, as you have seen.
Yeah. I love it.
Before I let you go, do you want to tell us how people can connect with you?
Yeah, so I have my own YouTube channel. It's called Charlene Cong. So that's my personal channel. I'm also very active on LinkedIn and Instagram. Same name. You can find me, Charlene Cong.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this interview, Charlene.
Yeah, thank you so much with me. I'll see you soon.